How dare you? He was seething with rage. It made her panic. There is no way she could escape him this time. Mr. John, I'm so... Don't speak a word. Pointing his index finger, he moved closer to her, causing her to inch back from him. Shut up before I do something I might regret later. She lowered her gaze and looked at the floor, not daring to speak a word to him. Meanwhile, his mother looked at her worriedly because she knew her son's anger. When he got angry, he would turn into a devil. He wouldn't even give a chance to the next person to speak. She knew her son very well, but still she tried to help Ryan. She cleared her throat before speaking. Son, I only asked her to sit and rest for a while because she had traveled for a long time, but her words were cut off by jungle. Mom, stop it. You don't know the seriousness, but she knows. But still his anger reached its peak. He can't talk to her here anymore. He has to take her to the office immediately and take out his anger on her. He turned his gaze to her. His dark eyes made her shiver. She stepped back as he moved closer to her. Mr. John, without letting her speak, he grabbed her upper arm and led her out of the house. Didn't I tell you to shut up? Do you not understand my language? And don't ever use the word sorry. Then he dragged her to his car. Don't come in unless I call you. He asked her to wait outside his room before he went in and prepared her termination letter. After a while, he called her inside when he was done with the process. Get in, he ordered. Ryan walked in anxiously. She was thinking of some way to escape the situation, but nothing came to her mind. She walked over to his table and stood facing the floor. He looked at her before placing the termination letter on the table. Take it. You can leave now, he said, pointing to the letter. Please, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, Mr. John. Her audacity to ask this again. He clenched his jaw as he spoke. How do you expect me to give you a chance when you are so irresponsible? Who even hired you in such a big company? From the moment I entered this company, you have done nothing but ruin everything for me. My first day in this company was not a very good experience because of you. I'm sorry, Mr. John. What I did was really wrong and I sincerely apologize for that. But please give me one last chance. Please, I won't mess up this time. This time, I will be very careful with my work. She had a little hope that he would accept her apology and allow her to work here, but no luck. Do you really think I'll give you another chance after what you have done, Miss Lee? You haven't even started working for me yet, but you have already caused me a lot of trouble. I wonder what you will do if you start working. I don't want to risk my company with such an irresponsible employee like you. Please, Mr. John, give me one. I have already given you enough chances, but you failed to save your job. Now take this letter and leave. Don't waste my time. I can't deal with your stupidity anymore. Leave now. He slightly raised his voice. But Mr. John, can you stop asking for chances and think practically, Miss Lee? How do you even expect me to give such a high position to an irresponsible person like you who can't even manage simple things? I have never in my whole life seen someone as unprofessional and irresponsible person like you. This is one of the top companies you work in, but I think you don't even deserve to get a job somewhere else because you have zero potential to work for someone, let alone a post so high. Get out of my office now. She was hurt by his mean words. How could he even think so low of her? Until now, she was worried about losing her job, but not after what he said. She inched away from him as he took long strides towards her until she hit the door and stopped moving. He stood inches away from her as he shoved his hands in his pocket. What did you say, Miss Lee? She angrily looked away. I was just going to fire you, but it looks like that won't be enough for you. Saying that, he snatched the letter from her hand and tore it into pieces. Ryan gasped in shock. Are you crazy? What are you doing? I lost a good deal today because of your stupidity. So now you are responsible for that. You should stay here until I get a better deal than what I lost today. What? No, I'm not going to be here another minute. Saying this, she turned and opened the door, but it was slammed shut by Jungkook in her face with a heavy thud. Do you think I'm kidding? I said you can't leave until I get a better deal. So now stop your cat attitude and go get me some coffee. You can't stop me from going. I won't work here anymore. She turned around and opened the door again. But he closed the door again and leaned forward and whispered something in her ear that froze her on the spot. Better do as I say, or I will make it impossible for you to get a job, not only in this country but anywhere else. She panicked. He could do anything. She couldn't risk her job. Now the choice is yours. Decide what you want. Then he backed away from her and went to his chair. She sat there and looked at her with a satisfied grin as she stood there in her thoughts. After a few seconds, she stepped out and he wondered if she was really leaving. 15 minutes later, Jungkook was working on his laptop when he heard a knock on the door. Get in. Your coffee, she said, placing the coffee cup on the table. That is when he realized it was Ryan. A sarcastic grin formed on his lips. He knew she wouldn't go away for sure. He took the coffee and took a sip from the cup. Did you put it in the fridge and bring it for me? It's not hot. Go get another coffee. But I just made it now and it's still hot. You have to do what I say. Got it? Leave now, he said sternly. After 5 minutes, she came with another coffee. Your coffee, she gave him. He took a sip from the cup and, too much sugar. Go get me another coffee. Out now, he ordered. Such a madman, she muttered under her breath. After 5 minutes, she came with another coffee for him. Your coffee. He took a sip from the cup and, no sugar. Go get me another coffee, he said without any emotion on his face. She got extremely mad at him, but she can't do anything. She has to do whatever he says. After 10 minutes, she came with another coffee. Your coffee. No sugar and it's not hot. Go get me another coffee, he said, looking at her. She looked tired from going down and climbing up, but he wanted to give her a taste of her own medicine. After some time, she brought another cup of coffee and this time he thankfully stopped with it. He did not say anything. She sighed in relief. Finally, she could leave now and rest for a while. But before she could leave, he stopped her. Did I ask you to leave, Miss Lee? He said in a stern voice. She stopped in her tracks and turned to him. Take this. He placed a pile of files on his table. Finish this in 2 hours and get back to me. She clenched her fists angrily as she walked over to the table to pick up the files. Meanwhile, Jungkook really enjoyed it. He was satisfied to see her like that. Noticing Ryan carrying pile of files into her cabin, Eji followed her to her cabin. Ryan, what are you doing with these files? Eji, do you remember when you said your friend's brother was friends with the mafia? Yes. Can you talk to him and ask him to kidnap this Hitler? She laughed before speaking. Why is that, Ryan? Then Ryan explained to Eji everything he has been doing to her for the past 2 hours. Don't laugh, I'm serious, Eji. I want to punch him hard in the face. Do you know how many times he made me bring him coffee? Now he gave all his work to me. Then when will I do my work? Calm down, Ryan. I will help you with this. Don't worry. While the two were talking, Ryan received a call from Jungkook. Miss Lee, after drinking that horrible coffee you made, I feel like puking. Get me some lemon juice right away. We are kidnapping him tomorrow. Do you understand? Seeing all this, Eji couldn't stop laughing. I feel bad for her, but I think she will learn from all these lessons to be careful in her work from now on. Your juice. she said, staring at him with her side eyes, unaware that Jungkook was looking at her reflection on his laptop. He took the juice from her hand and took a sip from the glass. Not bad. To which she scoffed and was about to leave, but he stopped her. I need you to prepare the meeting schedule for my new project with Kim Industry. She shook her head and was about to leave, but wait, did I ask you to leave, Miss Lee? Pull up a chair and sit next to me. But Mr. John, I have to finish my work. This is your work too, isn't it? Then she lowered her head and hesitantly walked over to him and pulled up a chair to sit next to him. You have to finish this file. After that, you have to work on this file, but if you can't finish it in the office, that's fine. You can take these files to your home and finish them, but you have to submit all these files on my table tomorrow morning. Got it? She quickly got up from her chair with her mouth wide open. What? This is too much, Mr. John. How to finish all these files tomorrow morning? Just a few hours ago, you gave me a pile of files to work on. That is not my problem. All these files should be perfectly done by tomorrow. That is what I want. I don't care if you eat or sleep. 2 months has passed and Ryan is still working there, but she wasn't the same Ryan anymore. Jungkook's strictness made her a perfect and responsible employee. She always finished any work given to her before the deadline, but still her clumsiness never left her, but Jungkook was slowly getting used to it now. Now Jungkook and Ryan were going to Busan. While they were going, suddenly his car stopped in the middle of the road. Oh no, what happened, Mr. John? How do I know? He said annoyingly before getting out of the car. The tire is fine, but I think the engine is the problem, he said after checking the tire. But anyways, we have to take the car to the side of the road. But how? You get into the driver's seat and steer the car to the side. I'll push the car from behind. But Mr. John, no, I can't do that. She was afraid to do that, so she decided to push the car. Why can't you? Mr. John, I will push the car. Are you kidding? You can't even move the car. No, I can do it. Will you stop playing? He grabbed her upper arms and yelled, I'm not playing. I'm trying my best, but it is not moving. Isn't that what I said? Now they have to stay at the hotel until his car is repaired. After informing the mechanic, he went back to his car to inform Ryan about this, but she wasn't there. He looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. He called her, but she did not pick the call. He panicked for a moment, but then he noticed her sitting near the lake. Why didn't you take my call? I was looking for you. I don't have my phone with me. It is in the car. He noticed that she was sad. Is she sad because he yelled? He felt bad. He shouldn't have yelled at her like that. But when the traffic got heavy, he got irritated and lost his control and yelled at her. Sorry. Let's go. I'm not going with you. I'm going by taxi. You stay at the hotel and come in the morning. Are you crazy? Are you taking taxi alone at this time? Why not? It is safer than going with you. Fine then. I'm leaving. Go safe. With that, he walked away, leaving her alone there. Ryan waited for a taxi, but it never came. She booked several taxis, but none came. But does she know Jungkook is the cause of all this? He was hiding behind the tree and watching her all this time. She started to panic when the taxis did not come for a long time, so she thought of calling Jungkook. Mr. John, can you come and take me with you? No, Miss Lee, it's not safe for you. No, I'm safe with you. Please come fast. Have you not gone yet? Let's go now, he said coldly and walked away to avoid her questions. Has he ever smiled in his life? Sorry sir, we only have one room tonight. He turned and looked at Ryan, who was busy on call, and thought for a moment before speaking. That's fine. Alright sir, have a peaceful night. It's going to be a sleepless night, he said, looking at Ryan making an annoying face. After talking on the call, she came to the reception. What is my room number? 205. And my room key is with Sir. Alright, thanks, I'll get it from him. When she came to the room was open. Thinking that Jungkook would have opened the room for her, she walked in and locked the door from inside. Still, she did not know that two of them were going to share the same room. She was so tired that she immediately jumped on the bed to sleep peacefully until Jungkook came out of the bathroom. When she heard the bathroom door open, she jumped out of the bed and started screaming at the top of her lungs. What's wrong with you? He ran to her and covered her mouth. What are you doing in my room? Not your room. We both shared this room. There was no other room except this one, so I booked it for both of us. What? How did you expect me to share a room with you? Then you can leave. I'm not stopping you, he said unbothered. She then slowly walked towards the door, hoping he would stop her, but no luck. But she can't leave because she is already scared. Fine, I'll adjust with you today. He laughed knowing this would happen. Then she grabbed a pillow from the bed and was about to go to the couch, but he stopped her. Where are you going? I will sleep on the couch. Why? You can sleep here. The couch is not comfortable to sleep on. Tomorrow we have an important meeting. You shouldn't look tired, so sleep here. Then she nodded and lay down next to him. Both their hearts were beating fast due to their closeness. Although they always fight like Tom and Jerry, both of them started developing feelings for each other without realizing it. Then after some time he fell asleep. I really appreciate this wonderful project. I'm glad to work with you, Mr. John. Jungkook smiled and bowed to him. I'm also happy to work with you, Mr. Kim. But before signing the contract, I have to tell you one important thing. Sure, go ahead. Jenny? Yes, Dad. Mr. John, she is my only daughter, Jenny. She's going to take over my position in this company soon. Mr. John, you two can talk in private if you want. Jenny, take him out. Let's go, Jungkook. Tears welled up in Wyan's eyes as Jenny called him rightfully by his name. She had to quit her job to ease these strange feelings. She had never thought that she would fall for him. At first, she hated him a lot, but as days went by, she started falling for him more and more. What are you doing here? I was looking for you everywhere. Saying that, he sat next to her. I'm quitting my job tomorrow because you got a great deal today and I can see that you are very happy with it. Of course you can. She looked at him in disbelief. Was he ready to let her go now? Of course, why can't he? After making such a big deal with such a beautiful woman? He looked at her. Her eyes, her nose and her face were all red. Did she cry? Thank you, she smiled. Shall we leave now? I'm sick. I want to go home and get a good sleep. Of course we can leave. But before that, I want to ask you something. What? Did you cry? I told you already that I'm sick. Don't you dare lie, Ryan. Her heart sped up as she heard him call her name. Why would I lie? Then why are you avoiding my eyes? Look into my eyes. He came closer and lifted her face by her chin and made her look into his eyes. Now tell me, why did you cry? Because my head hurts. Her heart skipped a beat as he leaned closer to her. If you lie again, I will. Her eyes widened and her hands immediately covered her mouth. She smiled at her shocked face. I love you, Ryan. I don't know if you have noticed the way I have been acting towards you for the past month, but I have literally fallen for you. Her heart was beating wildly, her lips were quivering. She couldn't believe that this was actually happening. I did not know about your feelings for me. That is why I never told you about my feelings. But today I noticed you after Mr. Kim asked me to marry her daughter. Shyly silent, say something, Ryan. Do you feel the same way about me? She shook her head with tears in her eyes. I thought you would accept her, she said, hugging him. How can I do that when I already love you? He cupped her cheeks and looked at her. I love you, she said that and hugged him tightly again. He held her tightly in his embrace and took a deep breath as it felt so good to have her in his arms.